Welcome back, everybody, to the Blind Pursuit podcast. If you are enjoying what you're listening to, if it's on YouTube, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And remember to send an email to itskimsportn@gmail.com if you would like to be a guest, or if you have feedback, anything of the sort. But anyways, let's get into today's episode. As you guys have been noticing, we talk to anybody and everybody that's in pursuit for something. And as you guys have noticed, everyone's at a different level, because it would be quite boring if we were all on the same level. You've heard folks doing entrepreneurship, you've heard folks get their master's degree, etc., etc., etc. This one's going to be a little bit different. My guest today is a young lady who is fixing to graduate from junior college. Her name is Dulce. Welcome to the show, Dulce. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing quite well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So, usually on this show, we ask a lot of questions, and if it gets too personal, feel free to pass. It's okay. If you don't know the answer, that's okay as well. Okay? So, we will get to the college piece in a little bit. So let's start from the beginning. Were you blind or vision impaired all your life?
So at the age of 6, I started with wearing glasses and stuff like that. 'Cause they did the vision and hearing back when, in schools and stuff like that. But they never really detected what I had till I was 8.
So when you say detected what you had, can you elaborate on that? What did they
Yeah,
find
so
out?
they found out that I have something, like my optic nerve is not really functioning. It's not really working, so it's decreasing the blood and it's shrinking, and it's optic atrophy what I have.
Mm-hmm. So in both eyes, or do you have more vision in one eye versus the other?
So on my right eye I have pure light perception, so I only see a very limited amount of light, and out of my left I don't see anything at all.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about family for a little bit. Nothing too personal, but
Mm.
are you, do you come from a big family, small family? We've had guests where they were like the only child. So do you have any brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I have 3 sisters and I have 1 brother.
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm the second.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that, how
Mhm.
does the family and you work together as it relates to your blindness? Because let's just face it, some people, when they come across someone who's blind, they really don't know how to react, how to work with the individual, especially when they're a family member. Was it a struggle, I guess, if that's the right word to use, when it came to Dulce being blind within the family?
It was a little bit of a struggle. I think it was a new experience, a new challenge in a life, but as my vision decreased and everything, my family were they were struggling, but they were finding new ways of learning how to cope with my disability.
Right,
And
right,
so,
right.
yeah.
So yeah, because to give you an example, like my family, they just did not know what to do. my mom was mind blown, so to speak. And in
Hmm.
the public school system, I was, sinking and sinking and sinking. And then eventually, when I was 14, I got sent to the blind school. You never you never attended a blind school, right?
No, I never did.
Which is a perfect segue into my next question, because we often ask a lot of our guests about the public school system. What was the public school system experience like for you?
I mean, it was it was a little like uncomfortable, like for when I started, like with using like my cane and learning how to read Braille because no one was pretty familiar with it.
So when
But
when you
I,
say nobody, elaborate. Like, who are we talking about? We're not. We don't. I'm not saying name drop people, but what are you talking about? Students around you, teachers?
like students,
Okay.
the students weren't familiar with the way that I was learning or the way I was navigating the school with the cane and everything.
Don't you think that's a common perception to have though from people around you? Because when you're vision impaired slash or blind,
Hmm.
it's considered different, right?
Yes.
So people are going to be, we don't know, like yourself and myself, we don't know that they're staring at us and this and that. But don't you, I believe it's up to us to educate them, right?
Yes.
So did you ever get to that point? Or like, what I mean is, did people ask you about why do you have that? Why do you use that? What's that for? So how did you navigate those waters when people were, you know, curious about that?
I mean, so that kind of brings me to like my fall quarter in college. There was like a student that would sit next to me and she never knew that I was blind, that I'm blind, until one day that she actually asked, like, what do you use that for? What is that for? And I told her that it's because I am blind.
All right,
And she
all right.
never really knew I was blind.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the public school system real quick before we jump into other stuff, other avenues. When
Mhm.
did you start learning Braille?
I started learning Braille since till I was 9.
And you are how old now?
I'm 22.
Okay, 9 years old. So that's about like 13 years ago. Did you do? No, I don't think so because UEB I came in later. So did you
Hmm.
did you ever learn the new UEB?
Like the OUND sign?
The because you got the old school Braille and then you got, I think it came out like in 2011, 2012. The new UEB.
The UEB? I think I did. Yes,
Okay,
because it like so I did the grade 1, which is just the pure alphabet,
right.
and then the the one where it has the BLE sign, so the number 1 indicator, and then
Okay, okay.
just yeah, and then the rest, which is like the OUND sign and the CON. Mm,
How much are you? Yeah, because with UEB, certain items were eliminated. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So how often do you use Braille? Are you a huge Braille user?
Yes, I use Braille pretty much every day since I go to like to college and I use like my Braille displays, or there's times I use my computer and I use like the Perky Duck.
Oh, the Braille translator program.
Yes.
So you mentioned the Braille display. What Braille display do you use?
So I have two. I have the Brilliant and I have the Mantis.
Oh my goodness, you got the best of both worlds. I really thought about getting that first one you said. The Brilliant?
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I shouldn't say this too loud, but like I'm just a QWERTY guy. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's simple. Like QWERTY. You flip over to the Perkins, and it's like, how do I write the SH sign? The SH sign again. I mean, I know all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, but my point is like when I use the QWERTY keyboard, I don't have to think. I just have to hit this letter, hit that letter. Doesn't that confuse you though? Like when you flip back and forth between the Mantis and the Brilliant?
No, it doesn't. Cause so like the brilliant, I would use like the dots and everything. So it would be like in the six dots. It would have the six dots shown right there.
Right.
And for this, the Mantis, it has the keyboard layout. So it would be like used to translate from grade one to grade to the UEB code.
So I've never used the Brilliant, so the Brilliant doesn't do that?
No, the Brilliant, it would have the layout of the six keys, and you would just type it out in Braille itself. And then the Mantis, it would have the keyboard layout like for a computer or a laptop. So you would press the letter A and it would pop out. And if you use like the CON, if you type that out, it would just show it as you typed it out. It won't use the contraction.
Well, I think that depends on the level that you set it on, right? Because you could set it to uncontracted, UEB contracted, etc. So, and APH guys, that's where you can go. I don't get paid to promote that, but I like the Mantis. I've had it for a few years. You ever do the Perkins style on the Mantis?
Yes.
Yeah, that I don't know, that just messes with my brain because it's like when I flipped it over to, because I accidentally flipped it over to Perkins one time,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh wait, JKL, da 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 da. I had to really think about it. But so high school though, before we finished up high school though, did you think high school got you ready for college?
I think I really like think it did because I am able to like do my homework and like use different technology and strategies to be engaged into the classroom.
Okay. So you use what screen reader for your primary?
I use the JAWS screen reader.
Do you got the latest update on there? 2026?
Uh, no, I don't. I have the 2023.
Whoa, you're way behind, young lady.
Mm-hmm.
How come you're not up to date?
So the DSB, the Department of Services for the Blind, they they're not really ready to install the latest update because they are still trying to get like familiarized with the new technology and the new commands that it has for the 2026.
I have 26, and I believe the biggest, I'll call it bells and whistles that they offer for 26. You're familiar, I'm sure you are because everybody is. It's dominating society, right? AI.
Mm-hmm.
Have you used AI before? Like Gemini
Nope.
and Gemini? You don't use Gemini?
No, I don't.
Okay. What are your thoughts about AI though when it comes to technology? You think that's helping us? Because
I mean, I think
here's what Jaws is doing. So like they have this, I think, what was it, 25 listeners out there? If I'm incorrectly stating this, correct
mm-hmm.
me. But I believe 2025 came out with something called FS Companion. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like AI driven. So what they do is you push insert spacebar, that layered keystroke, right? And then you hit
Yeah.
function key 1, and then a JAWS AI pops up. And if you want to know anything about JAWS, you just ask that question.
Hmm.
For example, how do I read the title bar? So you pretty much got like a virtual JAWS teacher at your fingertips, which is, I jokingly say AI is probably going to take me out of a job eventually, but yeah. So what do you think about that though? Do you think that's helpful?
I mean, I think it is pretty helpful since it is able to give you the answers that you need.
I like it too, only because the old school way that they had JAWS, they had it set up in like help files. So like if I'm just looking for one thing, I have to go through so many different books. Not there.
Yeah.
Not there. Not there. You know what I mean? So with
Yeah.
this FS companion, it's just like instant. But
Yes.
the AI thing, they got that in 26, JAWS 26. I don't like it
Hmm.
because I know what I'm doing on the computer, but I could see why it's helpful, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
cause I think I used it once. That's how much I dislike it. But I think it tells you how many links and uh just whatever's on the screen that you're on, right? But
Yes.
if you go back to the basics, the fundamentals and all that, you could use that technique to find out where you're at. So I don't know. To each their own. I'd rather just use what brought me to the dance, and that is, insert F7 type stuff. You know what I mean? You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that keystroke, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about hobbies though before we transition into other areas. What do you like to do for fun?
There's a lot of things I like to do for fun. So I like to play the piano.
Right?
I am really interested in playing the piano. I am really interested in singing, and I like reading like my braille books. I really like reading my braille books.
Do you do anything out, like, so when you read, this is all at home?
Yes.
Okay, what about outdoors? Do you do anything like, because I've spoken to people in the past, they do like beeper baseball or they go to the mall, etc.
Yeah, I like to go to the mall as well.
Why? It's
Like,
so expensive.
it is,
I haven't
but like
I haven't been to the mall since I was 14. That was like way before your time. But things were way, way, way cheaper back then though. So that's why I stay away from the mall. Even back then, back in the mid 90s, the mall was expensive. But anyways, how do you transport yourself when you go out and about?
so usually like my mom and my family would like be going with me to the mall. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'll be using like the guide with my mom holding onto her elbow.
Okay.
Hmm.
My co-host and I had a topic about that.
Hmm.
In an earlier episode, we talked about sighted guide. What do you feel about that? Do you think sighted guide is being dependent, or do you think it's personal choice? How do you feel about using sighted guide?
I mean, I think it's personal choice because as we are not able to see what we're going to be bumping into or running into, like they are able to help us by like putting their arm towards the back.
But some other people would say, as far as what you just mentioned about bumping into things, that's what the cane is for.
Hmm.
So that's why I was asking your opinion. So do you do how much cane usage? How often do you use your cane when you're out and about? Basically, is what I'm trying to ask you.
I use it every time I go out. I don't leave the house without my cane.
Oh yeah, I did that once at work. I left my office and I'm like, I feel like something's missing. I'm like, oh, I forgot my cane, so I like ran back to the office and got it. It was like right there in the corner. But yeah, it's always nice to take that cane with you when you go. So, guide dogs, though. Have you thought about getting a guide dog?
No, like actually, my cousin from Denver was actually trying to get me a guide dog, but I said no because there a lot of responsibility that comes with getting a guide dog, and I honestly trust more the cane since I'm able to like pause and keep going if I'm comfortable with the setting that my cane is feeling. And with the dog, you just keep on going no matter what.
I don't have a guide dog, but I believe if you say, stop Rover, it'll stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got turned down 3 times by a guide dog school, the one out in Oregon, I believe, guide dogs school for the blind,
yeah.
because they said, well, since you go to the same location every day, you're gonna board the dog. Board the dog. 2,
Hmm.
they said you have too much functional vision. I'm like, functional vision? Because, when she came and picked me up, I was at my house and I was jumping up and downstairs and all that.
Hmm.
I'm like, man, I live in my house. I don't use a cane in my own house. But
Yeah,
I still don't understand um fully why I got rejected outside of those reasons, but it's okay though. I'll just stick with the cane.
yeah.
So let's see what else. Cooking. You cook?
There's some stuff that I do cook, but the majority of time I'm not permitted to go into the kitchen for some reasons.
What kind of stuff do you like to make?
So I really like to make like the banana bread.
Oh my goodness, banana bread. I love
I'm
banana
really
bread.
obsessed with it.
How do you make banana bread though? I mean, I guess I can Google it, but what else you like to
Like what
cook?
would be the recipe?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, you can tell me later.
mm,
What else you like to cook?
brownies. I like making brownies as well.
Okay,
I like
you don't do anything else like chicken wings, hamburgers. So far, it's just sounds like you're
mm,
trying to open up a bakery here.
no, but like I like to do like baking, like I like baking stuff. I like making like burgers or like some like beans with like sausage.
Oh my goodness, you're making me hungry. Why are you not permitted to go into the kitchen?
Like I am sometimes permitted to go to the kitchen when I'm gonna like be doing like my own kind of like when I'm gonna be cooking.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's times my mom doesn't allow me to go in because she'd be like moving dishes, moving meals, and the kitchen is very small. So like will there be like a limited amount of people in the kitchen? And she'd be like with the oven open and she's like, don't come in because you're gonna get yourself burned and then you're gonna have like your blood sugar really high or very low.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. So, I mean, to me, it just sounds like common courtesy. Like, hey, we got the oven doors open. Then again, you could probably feel the heat, right?
Yeah,
So you don't want to walk in there. I've done that a few times where, like, and it would be my fault. Okay, like I would have the oven door open and I forget that it's open, and I speed walk into the kitchen. Boom! I hit the door. I'm like, ouch. But no, I get it. I get it. All right, so
yeah.
you want to open up your own bakery, right? So you want to do like banana bread and all this other stuff. I heard hamburger and all that, but
Yeah.
all right, all right. So let's talk about college, though. how much of a break did you have between high school and then entering into college?
I think I had pretty much a year
Oh
of a
wow.
break.
Okay, so you jumped straight into it then, right? Pretty much. I took
Yeah.
I took 2 years off before I went to college. Were you
Mm,
nervous?
yes, I was. When I walked into my first quarter, the building, I was like, what did I get myself into? Because it was the very first time that I went in. So I was very nervous and everything, like being in with students that would just walk by and everything in new environments. It's a new beginning and it's just very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I think that would be for anybody, blind or not. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but as it relates to orientation around the campus, were earlier you mentioned sighted guide. Did you have a sighted guide all over the place, or did you get mobility training on the campus?
I had mobility training inside of the campus. Yeah.
So were your classes like spread apart? Because I remember, I mean, I went to CBC over 20 years ago, so I don't know if it's changed a lot. But
Hmm.
I can't remember. I had classes in the S building, the T building. The hub was just like my ending spot and my beginning spot because the disabilities office they're in the H building, right?
The disability one is in the T building.
Oh, they moved it.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I used to go. I would get off the bus, whatever, and I would just go there because I would have class at 8 in the morning. So I would get there about 7:45, and I'd get coffeeed up in that office
Yeah.
and just go from there. How are the disability services there now? Are you getting all the accommodations that you need?
Yeah, I am. Like, I am getting my accommodations and everything. Like, especially with math. Math is a really hard topic, whether you're visual or blind or anything. Like, it's still a very challenging topic.
So, like, what kind of stuff to do for you for the math piece? So, are you talking about putting graphs in braille, or paint me a picture here? What do they do for you for math?
Yeah, so they do like a graph, like they do like a tactile graph.
Mm-hmm.
They put like little pigs and everything you can move around.
Okay, okay. Is that
And
is that helping you?
it is helping me.
What kind of math have you been taking over there?
So I took math, so like intermediate algebra,
Did you have to
which
take
is a
Did you have to take that placement test to see what classes you qualified for before you started?
yes.
So, what did you what did you qualify in when you first started?
So I did math 62, which was the intermediate algebra.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been 2 decades. Okay, so they definitely done changed up. So when I took that placement test, you're gonna laugh, but when I did the math, I scored in math 80. At that
Hmm.
time, math 80 was no, I scored in math 81.
Hmm.
Math 81 was fractions. Do you know how to do fractions?
No.
Okay, okay, so I'm not alone. So when I was working towards my transfer's degree, I just needed one college level math class. That's why it took me forever to get a 2 year degree because I started so low on the ladder when it came to
Hmm.
math. But all right, so what other accommodations do you get from there? I mean, the standard ones are like readers and note takers. You mentioned earlier you have a Mantis and a Brilliant. Do you use those to take notes, or do you have the disabilities office people doing it?
No, so actually, so the disability support services in the CBC, they provided a note taker, so it's called Glean, which you're able to record the class and then you're able to transcribe the audio into text, so you have the audio version of the notes and the text
Wait,
version of
wait,
the
wait,
notes.
wait, 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 wait. What did you call it? Glean?
Yes, Glean.
Glean?
Yes.
Tell me what that is again?
So you're able to record the class,
What do you use to record it though? Is it like a
the
web-based thing?
laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
so it's a web page. It's in your laptop or computer, and you're just able to sign in and go into the collection. So you create collections. So I have like my math collection, which is like my math class, and I would just create a new event, press record, and then it would record the whole class. And then once you stop recording, you're able to either keep it as a recording or you were able to translate the audio into text. So you have into
oh my gosh, are you serious? All right, so okay, so 20 years ago, I had a note taker. I had a physical human being, a real life human being sitting in there taking notes. I had a tape recorder. And now I'm hearing about this Glean stuff. You guys got it made. How do you like that Glean though? Do you think it's helping you?
yes, I think it's very helpful because I'm able to like listen to the recording or
But you said
listen to the
but you said you can translate the audio to text though?
yes.
Oh my gosh. I am sometimes I don't know, sometimes when I hear about the advancements of technology and all this and that, sometimes I get jealous like why didn't they have that back in the day, you know? But
Yeah.
so okay. So you don't have like Jafar sitting in the front row taking notes for you or nothing like that.
No.
Oh wow. Y'all are spoiled, man. That's all I gotta say. But okay, so okay, what else is there? Trying to think off the top of my head. I'm trying to remember back to my day. Note taker. So you got that. How do you do your quizzes and stuff?
Oh, so the quizzes they would be through the CBC Canvas page, and you'll be able to have like extra attempts as a disability support student.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to have not only extra attempts but also
Here we go.
extra times.
Again, changes and changes and changes. So back then, I had to go into a corner office and Jafara had to read the questions to me, and I'd be like, the answer is B, the answer is D, you know. But that's cool
Yeah.
though. That's really cool though that you guys can do that independently because that's what it's all about, right?
Yes.
And you don't have to worry. Because back in my day, I'm gonna keep saying that because I'm doing like this compare and contrast thing. It's like it really just breaks my heart. I can't believe how good you guys got it. But if a note taker didn't show up back in my day, I get lost out on notes. But what I could have done, and I'll own up to this in public, I could have busted out my laptop and took my own notes, right?
Yes.
But I didn't do that. So, there's consequences to your actions, right?
Hmm.
All right, what else can you tell me that's span Tabo? So you got Glean, and you don't have to. When I took exams, I had to go meet with the teacher in the office whenever he or she was available and, do the test. Or, like I said, if they had someone available, I had to go into their corner of the office. Basically, I always had to meet with someone.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Anything else, though, that you would like to share about the new technology stuff that I'm starting to get jealous over?
No, I think that would be pretty much it for the technology.
Did you ever have to do PowerPoint presentations?
Yes.
Yeah, because again, back in my day, I think PowerPoint was starting to become accessible very slowly. Like, I think after I graduated, that's when PowerPoint became more accessible. Of course, you know, me with the bad luck, everything gets better after I'm done, kind of thing, but it's okay. So let me see here. Note takers. You never, did you ever use your Mantis in class, or was it all about the laptop and all that fancy technology you guys have now? Glean. You never took notes manually on the Mantis?
I would take notes manually on the Mantis as well. Just like I would be recording with Glean and then I would be taking notes through my Mantis just so that I could be like focused not on what I was recording, but also on what I was doing manually.
Okay, so what would you say the hardest obstacle you have encountered at college, in college, and how did you solve the problem? It could be anything, anything. It could be I'm lost, I don't know where to go, or anything. What comes to mind when I ask you? 'Cause I know it's probably safe to say you did not just cruise through college, right? There was probably some
Yeah.
obstacles that you had to overcome. Any major ones that stick out in your head right now?
I think the biggest challenge that I had to overcome would be having to take the math class since I wasn't pretty much at the top of it. It's like I wasn't really into going to the tutoring center.
Mm.
And now that I have the math second opportunity for the early childhood education math that I'm taking, I I'm actually going into the tutoring center to also be successful, not only in my studies but also in my assignments.
Okay, okay. So, let me see here. I had a question in my head a moment ago. How do you get to the college? Do you take the bus, city
Yes, I
bus?
took the bus, the dial ride bus.
And for those that don't know what dollar ride is, you want to tell them, our listeners, what it is?
Yeah, so it's a bus that comes over to your house and you have to submit an application and everything to get into dial ride, and you have to call a day before to schedule a ride to go to and to come back home, and they come all the way to your house and knock on the door and they get you up into the bus.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I used to take the city bus when I went to college, but once I found out about dollar ride, I'm like, oh, let me just do that. It's like limo service, you know what I mean? Door to door.
Yeah.
It's like limo service for the blind, but what are you going into, like, when it comes to college? Are you just working towards your transfer's degree?
I'm getting my associate's degree, my AA degree.
Yeah. And then what are you going to do with that? Are you going to go to undergrad school?
Uh, no, after that, maybe I'll just like graduate and then get into the Pasco School District to teach students from pre-K to ninth graders. I mean, no, to fourth graders to teach them how to read Braille.
Yeah, so what is the actual, like, career path that you want to choose? Because when we hear early childhood education. That could be working in the elementary school. So at the end of all this, what are you trying to be? What are you trying to do?
If I'm trying to be a Brailleist to teach students how to read Braille from pre-K to elementary. So
Okay.
from yeah,
So you do not
so
want to pursue. So you don't want to pursue your undergrad, right? That's your bachelor's to get your bachelor's degree.
yes.
I kind of enjoyed the bachelor's degree, the undergrad school, because at least for me, it just seems like it focused more on what you're into. Like when I was going and getting my AA degree, I was working on my general ed requirements, taking English, taking science, taking math, you know what I mean? All the boring stuff.
Yes.
So that's why I really enjoyed more the undergrad because I got to study things that I actually was interested in. So, but let me see if I'm missing any questions here. Cause usually I have a co-host, but he wasn't able to make it today. But what could
Mhm.
you advise other blind folks that are listening that have not gone to college? What to expect?
I mean, something I could be advising to other blind students that are or blind people that are listening, it would be to don't give up no matter how hard or yeah, how hard life gets because opportunities are going to be coming at you. And something that I learned was to not give up on your dreams and to not say no to an opportunity that is opening the doors to your future because you never know what you can do unless you try, you know?
All right, so you're graduating though, right? You said you got one more
Yes.
quarter, or you done.
No, this is my last quarter.
So you'll be walking in June because I think
Yes.
that's when. Okay, you excited for that?
Yes. I'm very excited and nervous at the same time.
Yeah. I was excited because, like I said, I was fixing to go get my undergrad, so I was more
Mm.
excited to get out because I looked at junior college. I looked at junior college like an extended stay of high school. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I was doing the math and blah 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 blah. So I was like, yes, now let's go do things that I actually truly care about. But so let me see one more. No, I think you answered that question. But at any rate, though, I just want to congratulate you on your pursuit, as I like to call it, and
Thank you.
I hope everything works out for you in the future. And I also would like to thank you for taking the time out and doing the show with us.
Yeah. Well, thank you for everything that you have taught me and for everything for even including me in to
And
your
by,
podcast.
and by the way, folks, this young lady, I worked with her for 4 years all through high school, right? Do I got my numbers right?
Yes.
So I've kind of known her what seems like forever now. And like I said, I am proud to see that you moved on to college because I remember talking to you back in the day. I don't know what I want to do. I just want to stay home, watch TV or whatever. But I'm glad to see you out there getting your thing, doing, as I like to say, doing the damn thing, just getting yours. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but again, proud of you. I just can't say that enough. And just
Thank you.
keep up the good work. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for your time. And we will see you guys on the next episode.